Hello my lovelies, I'm the OK Fairy and today let's go ahead and talk about colour theory. I'm doing something a little different, so let me know what you guys think. This video was requested for and I listened to the people, so I have made this video. For a couple of reasons as well. Also, a lot of the questions people wanted answered include how to make colours look more cohesive, how to make things look more soft, how to make things look more interesting, how to get better with colour, and how to find the right colour. These things are very vague, which opens the floor up to a lot of different answers. So I did my research, did some experimenting, and this video is the end result. So I hope you guys like it, and I'd really appreciate if you could comment and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Also, these marks are from all my artwork. Sometimes, I don't know, it just did something, and Compable has battle scars from art, so yeah. Anyways, let's transition into... So yeah, this video includes a lot more than just colour theory, hence why I call it colour theory and more, but I haven't settled for the name yet, but it's going to be similar to that. How to pick colours, the right colours. Besides just the general instincts of what you think goes well, there are many other ways to find good colour schemes. Many people look at the colour wheel and choose colours from the opposite sides, but in many occasions this can be a bit basic, and here's what I do. I use a website called Coolors. Okay, an automatic generator of color schemes and a great way to get a general feel of how everything is going to look. I recommend looking at the trending palettes feature as well as the image picker, as it easily allows you to pick out the color palettes of a reference picture. But let's say you're up for the challenge. Just use the Cooler generator. So you now have the colors you want, but how do you put them together? How do you know what they'll look like? Easy. Make thumbnails. I would say 3 to 4 thumbnails minimum, where you make different color schemes and move and change them around. Now, what I love about thumbnails is they don't have to be perfect. I just do blobs and it's so much easier and it saves a lot of time. I use black line art a lot, but in my recent video I saw Disney using a different colour, and so naturally I tried it out. And wowza, it is an eye-opener. Having a line art color that is warm or darker than the original color but not black can make it seem a lot less sharp. But if you're going for that vibe, then totally just go for it. You can easily tweak your line art colors by going into alpha lock and just brushing it over with a new color, as you can see. Shading, lighting, and the face base, all that jazz. Okay, let's start off by slapping on that face base. So, shading. Using black is completely fine, and if you want to do it, go ahead and have fun, because I also do that and it doesn't really matter in the end. But sometimes it can make your art look a bit more graphic, so yeah, it can make your art look a bit more 2D, and if that's the effect you're going for, then that would be awesome. If you want to have a change, keep on watching them, because who knows, you might decide to take a tip or two for your own art journey. One more, on most occasions, people have a base color, a darker color for the shadow and a lighter color for the highlights. But I want you to try making your usual base and then a more saturated color for the shading. In your drawings, you always want to find that harmony between cool and warm, so experiment with that. Add blush to the cheeks by mixing a more slightly reddish neutral tone and then normal and blurring it out with a Gaussian effect or lens blur. I will explain how to do this very soon, so keep on watching. In this case, the lights, in this case the lantern lights. So make a note of that and just focus on that when you're drawing later. Here I'm just going to speed lapse this bit. It takes a bit of time, all the details in the skin and stuff. For me, that really helps put a drawing together. And some before and after pictures I'll show now. And yeah, so you can really see like the subtle difference, but it makes a difference. So my step-by-step tutorial on how to make this using Ibis Paint. Get your current sketch and lasso the whole thing. Don't worry, it doesn't need to be perfect to do this. Just make sure it's covering your whole base layer. Then hit the 3 dots and click change opacity. That changes the whole thing, and this is just an easy way to do it, what I explained before. And it selects that whole layer, and instead of changing the opacity, just go into a different layer and start making your gradient using the color wheel, starting from light to dark. Dark to light, right, left, anywhere you want. Just have some sort of gradient going on. Whatever you prefer, and pick them so the color wheel will be able to like fade into each other, I guess you could say. Now that you've done this, go into effects by clicking the brush and then the FX button, click Gaussian blur or moving blur or anything you want, and toggle with that by clicking the effect again. So once you're happy, just go into lower opacity and change it to multiply or darken color, or yeah, anything you want, because experimentation is key for art. Now look at the results, a subtle way to make your art look fancier. Connecting next is glow and background. The glow effect can really make items stand out, and if you want, it can be done in a very deliberate or subtle way depending on how you want to do it. You just copy your image. I do this by saving my finished, like not half finished piece on transparent PNG, but you want to make sure it's your color layer. Not if you can't put them all together in one, just make sure it is at least your color layer. And then you want to re-put that underneath the character layer. So once you do that, your Gaussian blur should like blur out to make it look, yeah. And then lighten it in blending mode and put the opacity down, and you're done, and you'll see the finished results. Next is texture. So a little bit of texture can go a long way. There's not really any rules to how you can or want to do it, but I personally added it to the lanterns to make it stand out a bit more and look more papery like and realistic. Yeah. Up next is line art. I use black line art a lot in my recent. I use black line art a lot, but in my recent video I saw Disney using a different color, and so naturally I tried it out. And wowza, it is an eye-opener. You are able to make things look so much more cohesive and less sharp in just one single twist. By the way, I'll link that video above, so if you have any questions or you want to see how it can help your own art, you know where to go. You have come to the right place. Having a line art color that is warm or darker than the original color but not black can make it seem a lot less sharp. But if you're going for that vibe, then totally just go for it. You can easily tweak your line art colors by going into alpha lock and just brushing it over with a new color, as you can see. Speaking of brushes, next and final one is on the list is brushes. I recommend using custom brushes, and it was a secret I was late to find out, because boy, does it save a lot of time and looks so good. It offers a lot of brushes, a range of blending brushes and hair brushes, no pun intended, as well as stamps, and it makes things look a lot more put together. I would say the airbrush to use it to reflect the background on the character, so the background looks more lived in, if that makes sense. So yeah, tune the look by changing the opacity down or up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video a lot. I spent a lot of time on it and would appreciate if you could comment anything as simple as the ABC. I hope you liked this video and join my Discord to join the art family, share your beautiful artwork, and ask any artsy type questions for me to answer in future videos. Anyways, bye and thanks for watching, lovelies.